סליחה. וזה מבחינת איסור חומץ בפסח שהוא חמור מאוד, ליקוטי הלכה, נפילס הפעם הלכה ד' סעיף י"א, it's a continuation, שהוא מבחינת חטא עץ הדס. The איסור חומץ in Pesach is עץ הדס, it's ממש חטא עץ הדס, שהוא סיטרא דמויסו, that's the side of death itself. כמובן, in the word מחמצס, the Tikkun Azur says taman chometz. The word includes the letter chometz, taman mes, and the word mes, and word dead. Ki chometz upchinus chimetz umayach. Chometz means that the souring of the brain. Shebal de amtono v'shiyah kanal, that comes by waiting and by letting it go. The chosman she'en zochin esaken amoichin le'asarut adol tata, and as long as you haven't still managed to rectify your awareness and your advancement in thinking and in learning through Teres Adol Tata, al that tefillah or mitzvahs and masim tovim, through davening and doing mitzvahs and masim tovim, as ayadayin and izoiche lebchinas keser kanal, you still haven't achieved that keser, that harness, that critical harness. You're not allowed, to sour your brain, to make your brain rise, so to speak, with any kind of idea and any kind of asagah. When they were in Mitzrayim, they were in tremendous goals, and they were steeped in 49 gates of tumah, of defilement, that they fell into those gates because of Chet of Adam Arishon, as it is said in this farm. And it was not possible to redeem them except when the Kodesh Baruch is going to do an extra special thing and is going to shine on them an unbelievably great light, to be masik there, because of the Kodesh Baruch with unbelievable great illumination, as Arizal explains in the Kavanas. The really Kodesh Baruch Hu had unbelievable mercy and compassion for them, and he shone an unbelievable ha'ora on them. But since this entire illumination was without any effort from below, any initiation from below, because it was before Kabbalah Satorah, it still didn't get the B'chinas Keser. So that's why the Chametz is forbidden with unbelievable Isser, tremendously stringent Isser, because the Asag and the Aura was just temporary. It was just, as needed. It's like two countries that have they have talks, and there's a protocol, that from two sides they have to be, for certain kind of negotiations, officers from equal rank, like flag rank, admirals or whatever, generals, whatever it is, and there's the best man for the job is a colonel or lieutenant colonel, whatever it is. They can't send him because of protocol. So what they do is they give him temporary rank as an admiral or a general, whatever it is, just for the sake of. So I'm sure I had to have that ha'ora. Just so with rak lefisha, it's just temporary. This is chipazon, quickly. The chipazon you swiftly went out. It's you in a hurried manner. The entire chipazon wasn't just a question. Israel didn't have a time for the chometz. The whole Indian, the whole mahus of Yetzias Mitzrayim was chipazon. It was quickly. Don't think about things. Don't be too clever. Don't be smart. Don't try to understand. Just go. Just go. He says, "V'lo yireh lecha chometz, ki asur lachmitz moichem v'daten klal ba'asagasam ha'atzumo." They had an unbelievable asaga, but they were not allowed to dwell on it. They weren't allowed to, to reflect upon it. Why? Because they still did not arrange and fix and establish the anchor, the Masada, the Miyasha, the Keser. And the Chometz the Kedusha was not rectified yet. That's why in Pesach the Chometz contains mamish sitra de moisa. It is the side of death, because this is etz hadas tover mamish. It is bevechina of chet etz hadas tover mamish, since the keser wasn't rectified yet. That's why it's totally forbidden to any kind of reflection and waiting in their das, being that you haven't gotten the kesser yet. That's why the achila has to be only matzah. The entire ha'ora, the all the illumination, and all the soga was only unbelievably great moichin, which was way, way, way beyond their saga. Way beyond their saga. They had this saga because it was temporarily necessary. It was temporarily necessary lefi shah for the geula. This is the matzah. Matzah is tremendously great moichin that you will receive bechipazon in a hurry, without shaloba droga, not in an orderly fashion. Shalo kaseda. Why? Because the koyach hamesader and mayash of the moichin, that capacity to hold down, to anchor down the moichin, was not established yet. Once the kes is established properly, the moichin come down in order, one step at a time. You establish one step, then you go to the next step. Then it has a keel, and then it stays. That's the reason why the chametz is totally forbidden with a very, very stringent issur. Because if a person now wants to reflect and wants to wait and wants to delve and wants to go deep and wants to, to be zmochin in this tremendous asaga that he has, he can go way off, dafka because he has this asaga. Dafka because he has this unbelievable moichin, he'll tremendously, because Sitra Achal is going to work itself up tremendously, which is all the kfirs, all the heresies, and all the confusions, because that power to hold, to anchor things down, and was not there, and the moichin are just coming in a rush, shalok seder. And this is the immensity of the miracle of the Geula of Pesach that HaKadosh Baruch Hu did with us, an unbelievable mercy, unbelievable chesed, that we get this unbelievable ha'ora, even though we don't deserve it, we don't have any kelim to contain it. It's only Terus Elah. Without this, it would have been totally impossible to get out of Mitzrayim, because he can't get the moichin in order, through this the koyach hamesader, that harness that put things in order and in discipline, because the klippas got hold of them tremendously, as it says in the Torah, and once the klippas overrun, in such a way, the 49 gates of you can lock it, the 49 gates of Tumah, so at that point in time, you cannot fix the kesser. As we learn in this Torah, that when he said, you fix the kesser, Simchas HaMitzvah, he says, yeah, but how can you get into the klippas? The klippas are overrunning, and when the klippas overrun, you can't get the kesser. So because they were steeped in 49 gates of Tumah, they were totally under the dominion of the kelipot. So they couldn't be masakin the kesser, through which you get, the middle of the world, the Or Ein Sof. The only way to do it is to get down to the depth of the klippas, to the very realm of where they live, and to elevate the sparks of simcha, the sparks of kedusha, and to sift them. The p'chinas mi yemer that we said in the Torah. Who's going to go into these chambers of exchanges and pick out, with pincers, one diamond after the other out of the whole filth over there. Now, in the time of the first Geula, Yetzias Mitzrayim, is not possible to start, the malach of the bira, of the sifting, keseder. And first of all, pick out, kedusha, and after the klippas, by doing the mitzvahs b'simcha, and then to go afterwards with all, according to all the bechinas it says in the Torah, one step at a time. You take out the klippas, you do mitzvahs b'simcha, you go up, to netzach, you over Netzachot Yesod, you wake up the worlds, you malbish the Chesed Gvurah Tiferes, and afterwards, you get the bracha, and then you malbish the Chabad, you get the Seichel, and then you get the Emunah into the Seichel. You don't have time for all that. You can't do this. This you can only do, once there's a B'chin of Keser is there. You're inside the middle of the Klippos. Until you find them, then you can get the Keser, until you can get the anchor to be masig, the truth, the indelible veracity of a Sogas Elokus of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Because in Mitzrayim, the Klippos would totally overwhelm them. They didn't have the necessary wherewithal to elevate the Shekhinah from its golus, one step at a time, Keseda. So the Kodesh Baruch Hu made an unbelievable miracle, and He shone upon them, the full blast, with an unbelievable ha'orah, Shalok Keseda, B'chlal, not according to order. And what this does, when a Kodesh Baruch Hu opens up the projectors, do you ever notice, I didn't get this problem in Israel very much, but in America, you step into the kitchen in the middle of the night, you turn on the light, what happens? All the cockroaches start, they run off in the darkness, they're having fun. The minute you turn on the light, they all disappear. Where did they come from? Where did they go to? That's the Klippos. As long as there's the darkness, and there's not the horror, that's, they're having a feast. They're going, and then this, and they're schmoozing, and they're gossiping, whatever it is. You turn on the light, everybody's gone. So the Ha'orah of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the minute the Ha'orah of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, showing on, so the Klippos were totally subdued, completely. And then the Shekhinah Knesset Yisrael were able to get out. And this Ha'orah that came about from Pesach, it was still without the Koach HaMiyashav and the Masada, the Keser. That's the illumination of the Matzah. This is unbelievable moichin, unbelievable hasagas. And because the Chametz, which is a reflection, which is waiting, this is where the Sitra Achra, is holding on, because you still don't have the anchor. But afterwards, so that's why Chametz is totally forbidden. But afterwards, after the first day of Pesach, this big ha'orah goes away. And the only thing which is left is just an imprint, a reshima. And then you're starting to get the moichen one step at a time. Keseda, this is Firas HaOmer. All the way until you get to Shavuos, then you get to see the Kabbalah Satira, and to fix the Keser properly, the Miyash of the moichen, because you have the aura from the Keser Elyon, that you do it through Mas and Tovim, through mitzvahs, which is Kabbalah Satira. And then that's why in Shavuos, if you bring Dafka, you have to bring the two lechem Dafka from Chametz. It says Chametz Te'afeno. They have to bake them Chametz. Because then you elevate the Chametz to its original root. The Kedusha Elyono, which is the Mesada, the Me'akev, the Keser, B'chinas Hamten, that's the Keser, that's the Chametz that is made through the Amton and the Shehir. The main Nikuda is, as we will learn on, is that the process okay.
I gotta go to work.
You gotta go to work. You gotta go to work.
I gotta go to work.
You gotta go to work. What can you do? You gotta go to work. He says he's gotta go to work.
If you gotta go